Hello all, so today I'm going to be putting the new four-wheeler tire on the back of the Yamaha Grizzly 700. So I'm going to be showing you that process. I'll be showing you the tools that I use to fix flat tires, and I'll walk you through it, how to do it. First thing I'm just going to put my jack here under the back side of the four-wheeler, and the first thing you want to do, I know I've said that twice, but you want to get the air out of the tire. That will help. Not all of it, but you want to get most of it. So to do that, I'm going to take the valve core out of the old stem. Okay. We will be installing new valve cores when we put the new tire on. So we want to break the lug nuts loose. I use the impact wrench for that. Just set those aside. I'll leave my impact wrench lay there. Okay, now with the tire off, you can then break the bead down. And to break the bead down on a tire, I use a very special tire tool to do that. I used to use this slide hammer outfit, which you can see is extremely hard to do and doesn't really work well. So I recently was gifted this by a friend. There's the hubcap. And this tool right here is made specifically for changing tires. As you can see, the shape is made perfectly in a half moon to basically fit the rim perfectly. Now, I can't push this down because I just don't have enough leverage. So I have to use a cheater pipe, which actually broke it years ago. And it actually broke again, not recently, and I had to repair it. But this here will eventually break it down. As you can see, it's quite tough to break that bead. This is the hardest part of the tire changing process on a four-wheeler tire, is breaking the bead. But we will eventually get it. Once you get it broke loose like that, you want to flip it over and do the other side. Because you will have to have both sides broke down in order to change it. Almost have to stand up. If the tool itself was fastened directly on the floor, you could put a lot more leverage on it. You'd actually gain quite a bit. And this is the harder side because the rim is longer. It's a lot deeper. makes it even more hard to get it down. Come on. Come to me. Come to me. There it is, completely off of the rim. Now we'll use a little bit of some soapy water to make it a little slicker to get it off. And you use spoons to pry the tire off. Let me see if you can see that. Exactly how I'm going to do this. Start from one side of the tire. And with that bar, you just work it around. And you end up just spooning the tire off of the rim. Like so. With a tube, you got to be careful that you don't you got the tire off one side. Now to get the other side, you just pry it, then you get take your big hammer. The tire is off the rim. Now you move the old tire, set it aside. Now I'm going to be using new valve stems, so I'll proceed now to cut the old valve stem out. And for that, I usually just take a knife and cut the old one off. You basically just cut it. Now you take your new valve stem, and you can put a little bit of tire sealer or gasket shellac on there. That will help it to seal. So I might use a little bit of like tire slime, which is just a little bit of this tire goo. I just kind of lube it up like that. You can buy this anywhere. This is what you use to put patches on your tire. Then you take your cap off, screw your valve core tool onto the stem. Well, you put it in the hole first. Getting ahead of myself here. Put your valve core in, screw your tool onto the end like that. Then you just kind of give it a pull till it seats, till it snaps in there. Take that off. Now I like to set my rim up against the board, and it also, on rims that are old and have been roughed up, it's always a good idea to kind of shine and clean up the rim. This one looks pretty clean overall, so I'm not going to worry about it. But if the rim would need any work or repair, that's how you would do that. Now, a lot of people use a lot of different things to get the tire to slip on easier. I just use a little bit of oil. That way it's slick. And I just brush it on with a brush. That way it'll help me get it on the rim. You set your oil aside. And then you can, basically what you want to do is get the tire in the right direction. The way it's got to go. And then you just push it on. Then you take your hammer and you want to hit the very edge of the tire, and you don't want to damage the rim. And you just tap it on. And now you can start spooning your new tire back on. Move your board out of the way. This is when sometimes it helps to have two people, and if you don't, a lot of times a pair of vice grips will work just to help hold it, keep it from slipping out on you. But the idea to this is to get it, once you start getting it down as low as you can, you want to push it down. There, I was putting my foot in it. But when you have a tube, you got to be really careful with this, because you don't want to pinch the tube. I'm going to take these off. And just give it one good tap. And it's on. It's completely done. New tire is changed. Now you can proceed to air it up. To do that, you want to take the valve core back out of the tire so you can get the maximum amount of air inside the tire as possible. And to do that, you got to have a good air chuck, not one that doesn't have a large entry port. And I'll show you how this works. Stick it on there until the bead pops. You hear it pop. And the other side pops. Now you want to take your valve core, cover it back up. And screw it back in. We always wear eye protection when doing this. Always be careful that the tire doesn't overinflate. And last but not least, you want to check your tire pressure. Got about 10 pounds in it. I'm going to let a little bit out. 35 psi maximum to seat the beads. It says 7 psi is the maximum operating pressure, and that's plenty. I mean, we're probably not even going to get a reading on this gauge. See, I got like 5 psi in there right now. We'll just let a little bit more out. We got about 5 in there right now, which is good. Now you got your tire mounted. It's completely seated. Now you can proceed to put it back on. Don't forget the hubcap. lug nuts back started. Put your impact on the low setting. You want to go across from each other. And that, my friends, is how you change an ATV four-wheeler tire. And now we'll proceed on to the next one. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm sweating. It's almost 102 degrees out here today. But by golly, we are getting the tires mounted. Even in the hot weather, we're still getting them done. As you can see, this old tire here is about slick, and that one we'll be replacing next. I already got that one put on the other day. So we went from that to that. You can see the considerable differences. So hope you all enjoyed this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.